of bandaging some wounds on her back.
Uh-huh. What the hell happened to you?
He just looks over and looks up to her. We were doing some training. Took a few more hits than I expected.
Shit, yeah, I would say.
Yeah, you see she's covered in bruises. Some you imagine are probably from slamming into the wall at the tower.
Okay. Does he see the spot where fucking Channing got pinned to the wall by Flora on his armor?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, I know exactly who did that one. Doesn't need to double check that.
Hey, can you drop Riker's token in general chat so I can download? No reason.
Yeah.
Save that for some reason.
Something the matter, sir?
Alright, I needed Calliope's help with something. If you're capable of working a forge right now.
Yes, allow me to get changed and I'll come right with you.
Sure.
Unless it's an emergency.
He looks over to where the forge is. Is it on fire?
No.
Actual fire. Okay.
How bad do you think she is?
It's less. I think
Okay,
she's bad, more Bradford. Yeah.
Never mind. No. Moreover, how do you think Sebastian let the place burn down?
Well, it's not on fire, and that's all I need to know. It doesn't matter about any trust. You don't need to question that.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have time. You have time.
He finishes helping her bandage up her wounds. Alright, good to go, Cal. And you see them do a handshake together. I'll see you when I get back then. Now you can count on it. He just looks over at you, Bradford, before grabbing both of their stuff. I'll bring your stuff inside, don't worry.
Oh, kind.
Okay, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay. And he'll just take her on over and try to explain on the way over what Briggy is trying to make. And I guess a little bit of kind of Briggy's situation.
Well, what do you explain exactly? Yeah.
Yeah, it's... I don't think it goes into exact details, but he's like... It's strange, but crafting is not exactly her forte. And she's trying to make these platinum rings, and to be nice, they're pretty shit, and she needs help, and me and Sebastian decided to try and help her, and we realized we know next to nothing about this.
Not exactly the best at ring craft, but I'm sure the basic premise holds still.
Alright. I'm sure you could probably figure it out. You seem like more than capable smith in the few instances I've seen it.
She walks over. I appreciate that, but I do have a question.
Yes?
What exactly did you talk with Naya about?
What did she tell you about that conversation?
She didn't tell me anything about it, but I knew you were with her, and I know something in her's changed now.
Fuck, Garth is debating if it's better to tell her or let Naya explain the situation. I'll do this. Do you think it's for her betterment, whatever's changed? Or just something's different?
I suppose that's yet to be discovered. I think it's for better. But that does not mean it's better for her.
That's exactly wrong.
Sebastian, did you do anything in the meantime?
Yeah, Sebastian would talk with Briggy. As he's trying to get him, like, he's trying to, like, find, like, the usual... I think it's actually part of the anvil for curvatures of, what to... Like, something to bend around the metal to make a ring and so on and so forth. He's going to talk with her. You certainly hold your human half with disdain, Watchman Briggy.
She's
so?
just sort of like sitting slumped against the wall, like arms around her knees, waiting. Don't hold.
Accents.
Got him confused. I got him confused. I don't hold it in disdain.
Yeah, you could have told me. The way you're talking about the blessing of the Maker earlier, and then you said cost of these human hands. Could have told me.
Over there.
She just sort of like shrugs. Not my words. Just words that were used against me. And against my father and mother.
Which one was human?
My mother was.
Do you remember her fondly?
Never got to meet her. She died in childbirth.
Did you ever hear stories of any relatives on your side? Aunts, uncles, grandparents.
Just slightly shakes her head. Not that I can recall. We were exiled shortly after it was found out that, well, I am what I am.
That is unfortunate. But such is the tradition of dwarves. Where did you go after?
Wherever we could. Town to town. Never staying long. Not good to be outsiders in a new town.
So you traveled all your life then? The road is more your home than any settlement.
Suppose that's a way to look at it.
What did your father do? What craft? What trade? What service?
He was a jewel crafter. And a damn good one.
He looks over at where the metal of the rings are. I'm sure he had his first steps. Everyone does.
No, he was a natural at it. Good from the day he was born.
And who told you that?
Everyone. They made explicit point about it.
And everyone being the townsfolk? Everyone being the dwarves that kicked you out? Which everyone?
Have you ever met dwarfs?
There are a number of dwarven watchmen, yes.
Those aren't the dwarfs I'm talking about.
Dwarves underground? No. No, I have not had the chance.
Good. Keep it that way.
They certainly seem a biased bunch, huh?
You won't have to worry about it for long anyways. They'll be dead soon.
Is this like an occurrence that Sebastian have heard before? Like, yeah, there's like a plague in the underground in a restricted environment.
No plague you've heard about.
Is it just darkness creeping in?
Nothing that you've heard about on that front, no.
What do you mean, Watchman Biggie?
She just sort of like rotates her head towards her ears on her forearm as she looks over to you. The dwarfs aren't repopulating enough. More stillborn every year. They're dying. Slowly but surely they're dying.
And yet they have the gall to send out someone like yourself. He sort of looks away as he continues his search for the tool for rounding. And just sort of saying offhandedly, makes you wonder if they deserve it, huh?
The tool to survive was right in front of their face. And they're too damn proud in their traditions to even think twice about it.
Stab him. He's like walking around the room still looking for the tool.
Perhaps. But I can only repeat the words that were told to me.
Words of fools. As you said yourself, Wattenberger, they're too damn stubborn in their traditions. And I know their traditions cause prejudice in the world, they said to you.
Maybe,
I haven't
maybe
known
not.
you for long, but I know this in my heart.
You might be right, you might be wrong. Who the hell am I to tell them if they're right or wrong? She stands up. What they told me is they'd rather die as they are than live on being what they never wanted to be. She just sort of like, you can see the tension building inside of her. Before she just like goes over and starts doing busy work to try to relieve it.
Watchman Boogie. Your dwarven hands may or may not have failed you. But your human hands, they tend to defy things. Humanity always has been like such. We defy our own nature, our own will. We defy the destiny that has been laid upon us at times. That, in a way, you could say the Black Watch is similar. So let us take those half-human hands of yours and defy the words said to you.
She's gathering supplies, she sort of grabs a hammer and slams it against the anvil before looking back at you, almost in like an anger. I know what I am. Don't need to be told what I can be.
You know what
She's
you are.
like, you see her grit her teeth. I'm only good for violence, and I know that.
No. You might think you know what Watchman Biggie, but I can tell you, for all the crazy people, all the killers and psychopaths in the Black Watch, there always a seed in every single one of us. Hope, if you want to call it that. There's a reason we all joined the Watch. There's a reason, as Watchman Bradford says, we're a suicidal cult that fights against the darkness. Every single one of us has it. And if we should ever succeed, if that seed will grow under daylight.
She just looks over to you and sort of sets the hammer down. I know exactly where my hope is, and I will be his shield to the day I die.
His?
Mm-hmm.
His? What?
There's pre-made ones.
Yeah, there's pre-made ones. Go check in the fridge.
The pre-made
God dang,
platinum
dude.
rings.
No, I'll not stop.
Ah. He said the magic 2 words.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh yeah. His. Watchman Biggie.
I have faith if anyone can change this world, it will be Doran. And I know that's true.
The rings you're making. Platinum. The spell referred to sometimes and often as warding bond. You will be his shield, huh?
She just nods.
Then which one is stronger, Watchman Briggy? Your determination to defend Watchman Dawn, or the tormented memories of the world said to you, saying that you can't make these rings. One of them will win out. It is up to you to determine which. Neither me, nor Watchman Bradford, nor anyone we bring in here will be able to fight that fight for you. It's in your mind.
Speaking of which, this is about the time that y'all arrive. Good. You're finally back. Now we can stop talking about our damn feelings and get to work.
How do I always miss the talking to Briggy about their feelings conversations?
Do they happen often?
No, that's the problem. Anyways,
We're in the Black Watch, Watchman Bradfield. Everyone has problems and feelings they need to gush about. Even the crazy ones.
the crazy one.
So you get to work. Now I ask you, do y'all stay as Calliope sort of guides her through this process?
How involved is Briggy? Like, does she actually give her earnest attempt at listening to Calliope and learning how to forge?
I think she absolutely does.
If they don't need us for anything, well, Sebastian will leave.
Far more focused than she had before.
Gotta stoke the fire, you know what I'm saying?
And luckily, Calliope's like super tall and Briggy's short, so she can kind of just literally look over her as she works.
It's like, no, little to the left.
What a woman.
Get some more heat. Oh, why?
I just thought, wait for a second. That's the first thing I hear when I get back.
Let's see, 5 foot versus 6'7". Yeah, I think she could definitely look right over her. She does everything.
A little
She's-
bit.
Like, Briggy goes up to, like, her belly button or her waist or something.
Yeah, probably like lower ribs.
Lower ribs. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, this isn't hard for her at all.
Yeah, if we're not needed, then Sebastian will leave. And wish him good luck.
As you go to leave, she just looks at you. You know what I always hated?
Hmm?
I always hated how much I believed that they were right in their conviction.
There are times we must defy our traditions. If our traditions got exactly what they wanted, I doubt you would have lived to have walked out of the holds of the dwarves, and I would not have left my village ever. Traditions have their place, but not always. Remember that. Be as innovative as Watchman Dawn. Huh? And then he leaves.
Bradford will also leave. He's... Yeah, not gonna be weird.
As you leave, you just hear Bergie say, "Here's what I have so far." And you hear Clive sort of, "Wow, these are really shit."
We did give her the heads up. Oh, I say we. Bradford did give her the
Bradford
heads
did
up.
say-
So
He said the kind way of putting it was to say they were shit. And the not kind way is to snicker and then tell her to her face they're shit.
Listen, Briggy's of all of us has the thickest skin. So, well, maybe not, given the words that affect her all the way to this present. Sticks and stones can break my bones, but harsh words will traumatize me for the rest of my life.
God, there was something I was just reading, actually.
What, like an article? Or like a meme?
It's that your The center of your brain that recognizes words is the
Mhm.
same one that modulates pain.
Oh
Hmm.
man, evolution did us dirty
So
on that one.
that function that sort of recognizes your pain is also the one that really recognizes words. So I gotta think there probably is some correlation there.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Just like your pleasure center is right next to your center that recognizes your feet. So
What?
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what?
yeah.
Huh?
I don't. I would like to unsubscribe from cursed anatomical.
You're
Just-
saying it's
just-
based in science.
So what you're saying is, oh, everyone is a foot fetish.
I'm saying it's an easy wire to get crossed.
Okay.
Did you look that up after you told us about your friend who has a?
Maybe.
Maybe, possibly, sort of.
Anyways,
How much is it on
Anyways.
OnlyFans? Anyways.
We go transition someone else. Unless Brad has anything else to say.
He doesn't. I have like that one research thing, but like that's it. Someone else can go before that. If someone else has something.
okay. I think that's a good place to at least end this night.
Hmm.
What about Jericho? Looking for
Jericho?
Lucian. Jericho.
Is that what Jericho was doing?
No,
Searching
fuck
for
Lucian. Or Alphonse or Carolyn? Which one do I find first?
I mean, probably Carolyn.
Yeah.
Unless you specifically go to the place that Alphonse is literally always at.
Do I know?
Yeah, he's in one of two places.
I go to the tree.
Graveyard.
Like it's always one of these two.
It's like
Yeah.
lecture
He's
hall or
either
graveyard.
teaching or he's glooming.
Teaching.
I creepily look in through the window of the lecture hall. Is he in there?
He's
He is, yeah.
He's either
I
grooming
knock on
young
the window.
minds.
Don't say grooming young man.
That's what he's doing, bro. He's either
I mean,
grooming
that
them
is
or
the
grooming
word,
young
but
minds.
I am kind of
Never
seeing your
want to
point
hear
here.
that.
Yeah.
Never want to hear that again. Jesus fuck, dude.
He's technically right, but he
By
He's out of
definition,
order.
I'm right.
By
I would
definition, he's right. By culture, he's wrong.
By connotation, I'm severely wrong.
that's like my
Hey, Kevin Spacey.
my professor, my pharmacology professor. She's Spanish, and that's like her primary language. So she'll frequently use the word caress when talking about like holding a child. I'm like, oh, please don't. Please don't
pet
say
the
that.
child.
It's just caress something, and it doesn't matter. Anyways, so he's in here. Looks like he's preparing some lesson.
Jericho spots him through the window and ding 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 knocks on the window.
He just sort of looks over, sees you, blinks a couple of times,
And I'm like,
points over to
great.
the door.
Jericho like pushes his face up against the glass to try and get an angle and see the door. And Alphonse sees him kind of like and like go around the building and go in through the door like some fucking schlub.
Does that window even open?
Probably not. No escapes.
Jericho doesn't know that.
They started adding locks on him after the first Doway recruit.
You can't make me learn.
Then they started putting buckets of water underneath their feet. He looks over to you. Ah, yes. I was expecting you at some point.
He's standing over by the door. He's like, "Damn, you have always fucking carries in here." And he makes the arduous trek. Let's see, 50, 70, 80, 85 feet.
You really measured.
For the first time in his life, he walks the whole way.
I see you do not need to be invited in.
No, I didn't get that quick. Do you?
He just looks at you before looking over and walking and grabbing some stuff.
I take the dodge action.
Let me see your hand.
What's he out his head?
He has a couple tools. One looks to be a stake.
Bro.
Is
Why?
it a ribeye?
It is not going to kill you.
What is it gonna do?
Give me a good idea of your sire.
I think Jericho gets kind of more serious at that. Says fine. He holds his hand out and he looks away.
He slowly walks over, and you can feel like a nervousness rising in you as he approaches.
If my heart could race, you'd have no idea.
He takes a small bit of garlic and puts it in your hand.
He looks. He peeks. Anything?
Nope. He takes a bit
bite out of
of
it.
water. That is fine. I can get a new one.
I'm sorry. I don't know what part of the test.
He pours some water across the across your hand and looks at it. I see.
Not running water either.
He takes a little rock, puts it in your hand, and says a couple words. And you feel it getting uncomfortably warm in your hand.
Warmer and warmer. Does it start to burn?
It does.
He fucking like tosses it up. It'll probably clatter to the ground.
It's really bright, and he sort of looks away from it before reaching down and covering it up.
That's a new one.
Not exactly what I expected.
What'd you expect? I'd burst into flames or something.
I would hope not.
You and me both, brother.
How long exactly have you been this way?
5 years now. Give or take a few months.
So very soon after, you went missing.
Polite way of putting it, but yeah. I trekked back to my own village. Didn't know the Baron had returned, and well, he knew I was there before I knew he was.
Tell me, do you know much about them?
But this one in particular.
Your sire.
Takes a comforting bite of the garlic.
Oh my
Shut
god! What the fuck?
You see him sort of wince at that. God dang it, bot.
Oh, that break. It was having a lot of problems yesterday, like a lot of problems. Keep going, I'll solve it.
Well, you know more about Vampire Con than I ever will. What I heard about you's true. So, when I say that he's... let's see here. Yeah. When I tell you that he's in Ittrick, that means something to you, doesn't it?
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm the one who should be sorry. I helped.
Of all the things it could have been, a trick by far the worst. Their violence and maliciousness knows no bound. Do you hunger?
Not nearly as much as I've seen from some of my, does air quotes, brethren. I think this last cleansing, this most recent one, probably the hungriest I've ever felt.
You see him like sort of take a gulp at that. Brother Ezekiel is quite proficient in his craft.
Yeah, so you know. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Though, I've been, I guess, well fed the past few months. Enough to the where I don't really get the craving. I've been indulging myself, though.
That is exactly what it is. An indulgence. And the more you indulge, the more hedonistic you will become. The more like the very thing you hate.
I had to ask. Only in attitude or in power too.
Does the promise of power ring in your ears?
Yes.
For what reason?
Creatures like you and I, elf ones. Dark ones, vampires. This world. They've laid claim to it. But it's not theirs. I want to fix that.
And you think you can fix the world by playing their games? By feeding into the same hedonistic desires that dumped it in the first place?
I think I could do it by doing whatever it takes. And at the end of it all, if I'm the last one standing, well then it'll be easy.
He just sort of sighs and bows his head a little bit. I've seen others travel this dark path you are. Just not in the way you think it will. You will not find happiness, resolution, but only pain.
It's not happiness I'm after, you dark bastard. It's some bloody peace.
Do you remember what was taken from you to turn? Who was taken from you? There must have been a whore.
Wait, say that again? Who was taken from him when?
To turn.
Ooh, I have to improv.
Good night, bud. I love you.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to improv. We talked about this fucking.
We did, yeah.
He kind of. He has a soft, dry chuckle as he clutches the flowers on his belt. And he says, "A girl named Lily. Named after our town, named after the flowers that our town was named after. It was all very, ironic.
It was all very intentional, I assure you. If you seek to follow this path, I cannot stop you. I would not try. I've long since made my peace with this world. I can only offer you this bit of advice. If you ever do seek restitution of your soul, there is a way to accomplish such.
What? Become as normal as the blokes out there.
But I claim that which was taken from you. Whether you see that as normality or not. Perhaps the gift that has been given upon you is one that you revel in. But if you do seek to rid yourself of it, then you only need to do two things.
Go on.
Forgive yourself and forgive your sire. And then kill him.
Forgive Solomon.
I did not say it would be an easy process.
Damn near impossible. I don't forgive easily. But in doing all that, I'd lose my leg up. You're old. I'm sure you've heard every idiom that ever existed. Fight fire with fire. You know that one?
I have heard it before, yes.
That's what I intend to do.
Then perhaps you should seek out the advice of Captain Diana. She might be able to help you more.
At this point, I think anyone would help me more than you did. But thanks anyway. See you around, Al. And I'm keeping the garlic.
Perhaps so. Just remember, to fight fire with fire burns a lot of things around it.
I like the sound of that. And out he goes.
Does Jericho do anything when he leaves? Or does he just leave?
First things first, he fucking throws the garlic away. He made his point. And second, do anything when he leaves building proper. I think he'll try to sneak back over to that window and glance into it to see what Alphonse does after that exchange.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Roll a stealth.
I gotta see if he cries.
You see him sort of sit down and read through a book. And you see him just pause for a second as he flips the page. And just take a deep breath out before making his peace with the situation and going back to reading.
Okay. Then yeah, that's all Jericho does. Just out of curiosity, if it's inconsequential, it doesn't matter. And what is he reading exactly?
Well, A, roll an insight and a perception. That's there was no B. I didn't have a B.
B, here's what you got.
You know what? Wait, is it a new day? No, it isn't.
Okay. What he's reading is clearly a book on vampires.
Hey, he's got a niche. He's sticking to it.
It definitely wasn't the book he had, but it's a book he grabbed after you left.
Okay.
But with the insight, just based off the things he said and his reaction, it looks like he's long since gave up on trying to change anything and only accepts it for what it is. I guess you could say he's just not a fighter.
And I think that's one of the things that pisses Jericho off the most. Because how can you live in a world like this and not do everything you can to change it?
Right, especially with someone who probably has a good bit of ability to.
Alright, new objective. Convince Alphonse to fucking put in the work, goddammit.
So, with that, I think we sort of conclude the day